a bit. Pokemon dreams, yeah, we chillin' with it. Catch the flow, let it dip, feel the rhythm, hit light so low, got no quit in this vivid trip. Rip and sip. Roll the dice, take a grip. Rip and sip. Let the moment flip. Catch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rip and Sip podcast. We are back with a special edition podcast this evening, a Q&A edition, and we have thought we'd bring in producer Dummy Rhyme to help us with the questions. How you doing, Dummy?
I'm okay, mate. How are you?
Oh, absolutely sound as a pound. Just smashed the monster. Now ready to kick things off. As always, I am Curio Rich, and my next door neighbour, as always, is RagingNes. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, good, mate. Good. Just ready to get into it. To be fair, I'm quite excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. I'm buzzing actually because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hang on, I'm just going to get rid of this. Sorry, I had Riverside Studios open.
Dead air.
It says issue.
You're an issue. Well, whilst you're sorting that issue, Rich, I'm going to take a quick 30 seconds to just say I had the pleasure of a wild Pokédean walk into my store this weekend. And it was a pleasure meeting him. And I just want to say, obviously, as I said to him then, the community's behind him. It sucks what he's going through. And ultimately, you know, as I put out in our posts, hopefully the dickheads that have done the damage to his flat and obviously broken in get caught. Unfortunately, other people have been targeted in the interim as well. Yeah.
Scary, isn't it? I know that we've done the last couple of pods on it, but the thing is, it's kept on happening. It's kept being the main news, and that's the concern, is that people with these big collections are getting targeted. And the thing is it's the people you know. It's bound to be, isn't it? I mean, you know, you look at his stream and you can see a box here, a box there, but you surely you're not going to see the true value. But yeah, it's targeted, and unfortunately, it seems rife. But that's perhaps something that we'll cover off in one of the questions, in one way, shape, or form. So, I think the structure tonight is producer Aaron is going to go through the questions. We've got quite a few, so we're just going to rattle through them and have a bit of a back and forth, see where we end up.
Yeah, I'm down. Right. Okay. Well,
go with question one.
Question one. PokeJay asks, is there anything you regret selling knowing what the value is worth now? And he also said he loves a pop.
Rich, I'll let you go first because I've got 3.
Okay, so mine's, because I've been relatively new to collecting Pokemon again, the easy one for me to say is I regret selling the Pokemon Center Black and White ETBs because I bought them 3 months afterwards, and which was just such a stupid move. Although I did sell them for, I think it was around about 100 each, which felt like a silly move at the time, but then ended up buying them back at 90 each. So it evens itself out, but it's just extra legwork that I didn't need to do. So yeah, that's me. I've not made too many mistakes yet.
Yet. Oh, trust me, you'll make them. So for me, the first one was PSA 10 Charmander Pokemon Center stamp from the Obsidian Flames ETB. Graded it, came back a 10. At the time, it was a week before one of the London card shows. It was valued at like 700 quid. Sold it on eBay 2 days before, and then now it's like a £2,000 plus slab. Second one is the Coro Mew. I graded it myself. Bought it on ungraded for 140 quid before ungraded popped off. Came back a 9. Sold it for 450 quid. I think that's worth like 2 to 2.5k now. And finally, the Mewtwo in a PSA 9. Sorry, Pompey Blue, you're going to kill me, but yeah, I bought it from him. He done me a really solid deal, and then needs must, I sold it at last comp, which was like 450 quid, and that's now like £1,000 plus slab. So yeah, I've me and slabs, I always sell too early, and I'm a dumbass.
But you either win or you learn, and hopefully you're learning.
No, never learn.
Never. Question 2. Lloyd Roberts says, due to the PSA price increase, can you see 10s/new certs in general rise from?
Do you want me to go first? I'll go with the basic answer, and then you give the educated answer.
Educated, come on.
So I made a note about this, and I think that you probably will. You'll see it streamline. So I think that you'll see more people like taking their time in what they grade, because over the last year we saw a lot of shit get thrown at the wall. And to see what sticks, and then they've used the lesser companies as a yardstick to then go, okay, now I'll submit to the big boys, which, you know, you see that often. People break stuff out of slabs to then submit to PSA. So I think will we still see that? Yeah. I think you'll see more shit thrown at the wall on the lesser companies. Will it make PSA more valuable? Potentially. But then it all depends on whether they're in the news the next week or not, because we all know that grading companies are supported by buyer sentiment.
Yes.
That's my answer.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a fair answer. I mean, reality right now is we saw the new cert thing kick in around 102 million cert number. We're now up to like 100, almost 150 mil. So the last 50 million slabs that have been graded, which is a fucking insane number, have had, any 10s have had a mystique and a price bump with them. But we're also seeing the older certs now, because it's so hard to grade older 10s or like those era of cards in a modern 10, go for all-time highs. I think, yeah, as you said, a lot of shit's going to be flung at the wall, but I think people now are definitely going to pick and choose what they send, because now that it costs £23 a card through middlemen from the UK, that's, so to give you a bit of behind the scenes, as a Collectors Club member, when I was submitting cards through PSA directly, the average cost, including shipping there and back and insurances, was around £14 a card.
Wow.
So it's gone up £9 a card since. So yeah, my grade pile had 200 cards in it. And now it's down to like 120, because I just can't afford to send basic cards that I know would 10, but there's no point now.
That's crazy, isn't it? The uplift in price. But I suppose because of the uplift in activity they've got, it makes sense that they've decided to do that. And also you've got to, I suppose you've got to limit what you bring in so that you remain premium, if that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, there's always going to be that premium cost, like, but you see at every card show the same shit across everyone's tables, and you're like, well, are you just flexing or are you trying to sell?
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with it right now, is that everything feels like a flex. It doesn't feel like you're going to sell it. So yeah.
Okay. What do you think, just before you jump in, Aaron, what do you think on the older certs? Because I've seen a few videos where people are coming in and they're going, wow, it's an older cert number. Is it a true 10? Oh, da, da, da. And there's now there's that questioning of whether it's worth the old cert versus the new cert value, when we look at the centering and the fact that a grader had the opinion, it could be down to their opinion, they could go up to 60-40, and now it's been reined in a little bit with 55-45. So do you think that will hit the older cert numbers?
No, we've seen it with the Illustrator, mate. You know, elephant in the room. That is not a 10. It's a 1 of 1. It sold for 16 million to a coke dead up hedge fund manager's kid who wants to buy every antiquity in the world. So no, we're seeing old certs that aren't 10s sell for record highs as well. So yeah, right now we have brand new money entering the scene, and they're just hoovering up everything and the people that own these cards are benefiting from it.
Yeah. Another from Lloyd. Is there certain cards sets you are expected to boom in the run up to the 30th anniversary?
Easy answer there. I'll jump in on this one quickly, Rich. Generations, XY Evolutions, 25th anniversary, and once the leaks start, anything that is featured in the 30th anniversary artwork, those cards will start pumping. Set wise, it's always the anniversary sets and anything that has a anniversary stamp on it. So 10th anniversary Pikachu, the Fiesta, Japanese cards, they're all currently going for crazy sums.
We've seen the Greninja promo has started to creep up, because you know that hit that it got absolutely pumped, didn't it? And then it just got dropped, went down to like 20 quid or 15, I think it was, and now it's starting to climb again. So it's that sort of tunes in. I was actually looking at this. This is I suppose this kind of tunes in with what, you know, when it comes to looking at certain markets. I think in March last year, I was starting to collect 25th anniversary stuff in readiness for this year. to see what would happen next, because I believe that would be an area that it would increase, and I think that will be the case. But you've got to look early. You've got to be so early to the party, otherwise you just. And this is normally me. Normally I'm the consumer that people pitch to, and that I'm the guy that's buying Paldea and Fate's fucking baby shinies just as they go out of bloody print. And that was probably going to be part of my answer. It's not necessarily linked to 30th anniversary, but as we hit the rotation next month now, then everything that is dropping off of that rotation from a play side, which I think is Obsidian Flames, is it Paldea Evolved, Scarlet and Violet base, and then also Paldea and Fates. So in theory that should rise as well, but it won't be necessarily linked to 30th. It's just because of the time of year. There we go. What's next?
TCGJar. When is sealed not considered sealed? I.e., does a small tear in the plastic void the sealed mark?
So my take on this is that sealed is sealed. At the end of the day, it's what's inside the product. I went through a period of collecting, much like Dan, collecting Funko Pops, but mine wasn't Pokemon, it was Lord of the Rings. And when it comes to selling those Funko Pops, it's like, but the corner's dinged, it's this, it's that, it's the other. And it's like, what the fuck? At the end of the day, it's the product is still there, but it's not perfect. So therefore, it tanks the value. I know that that's going to be the same sort of thing. However, with Pokemon, it's what's inside. Surely that's what drives the value, because it's the potential of what could be in there that will be the exciting thing for someone. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I've hoovered up a load of ETBs from card shows that have all had nicks and tears in, because I'm like, the play is, an example is Celebrations. I've got a Pokemon Center Celebrations ETB with a tear in it. I've got it priced at $350 because the mint ones are £400. There's no difference apart from that tear. So in 10 years' time, at the 40th anniversary, when the Pokemon Center ones are, I don't know, $2-3 grand, is that tear going to knock off £100, £200? Maybe, but it's still suddenly gone to £200 under $2-3 grand. Like, just be smart. Of course, everyone wants mint, but there's so many people that just buy for the sake of buying, and then they flip it within 6 months. Like, the smart people know the longer you hold it, regardless of the damage to it, it's still going to be worth more than what you paid for it.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean that would be honestly my tip. Like, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, it's inherent value versus availability. And once those products are gone, and every booster box that's ripped, the booster box price rises. Every pack that's ripped, there's always an incremental rise. Buy it all. Well, no, don't buy it all. Let me buy it all, because that's what I'm doing. But yeah,
got to buy it all.
It stops being sealed once there is a massive, once you can access the product, it's no longer sealed. It's no different to a Post-it note. Like, that's a complete Post-it note. That corner off of it, that tear in the seal means nothing. But if it's completely torn in half, then that's no longer sealed. That's no longer complete and perfect. So yeah, a small nick or a tear, fucking grow up.
I had that with a what did I sell? An Obsidian Flames ETB, and it wasn't a Pokemon Center; it was just a standard one. And the person came back to me, and I sold it via eBay. I was probably quite lucky, because they went, "I didn't realise it had a tiny tear in it." And I said, "Well, I did take pictures of everything. It's not going to make a difference if you hold on to it for long enough." And so yeah, no, that's something that gripes me a little bit. Sealed is sealed at the end of the day. If it's torn, as you say, it's torn in half, then that's something different. But sealed is sealed.
What if it's got a slight hole in it? So say you, for instance, you caught it on the corner of a drawer, and it's like a pinprick. But it's
talking from experience, isn't he?
Yes, my Black Bolt ETB has got a tiny hole in the back of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so to go into it, I have customers. Obviously, I'm selling Destined Rivals booster boxes at market at the moment, which is around the £400 mark. And the ones that I've got, you have the oxidization holes that allow the air and the moisture to escape, which is a factory machine thing where you can see it's symmetrical going across the thing. But then there's also one that has a small hole on the seam. Both of those are manufacturing errors. So those, the arguments there, that's come from the manufacturer like this. It's not something that's been humanly done, versus what Aaron's saying, which is where, human error has caused the tear. either way, I don't begrudge anyone if they're buying for sealed. I understand you want mint stuff, and I will happily facilitate that. But long term, if I can get a deal and pay less for something I still know is going to be valuable in the future, I'm doing it.
Next question, Quirky and the Geek. Opinion on the worst Pokemon to ever exist, and which should be destroyed and why?
I've got 4.
Oh,
Shout out Quirky and the Geek, by the way. Absolute legends of the game. And
Yes.
we'll be at our next event on the 23rd of May. And couldn't speak more highly of the guys. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Their ethos to their collectors, and their ethos to selling is absolutely on point. I think you'd agree with that as well, Dan.
Yes, they're purebreds of the game.
Right, do you want to go first, mate?
I want to hear your 4 because I've got to think about this. Like, if there's one that I could get rid of now, I need to think for a second.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to give you my honourable mentions are going to be 3. So, Charger Bug, what the fuck? What a waste of time.
It's a fucking cube.
What a waste of time. It's a fucking battery. What the fuck? It's a bug. No, it's not. It's a battery. Next, stupid Pokemon, left key. It's a set of keys.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on.
Okay.
There's the ones that look like cups and fucking dishes and saucers. Stupid.
Okay.
Next one, something you find in Hawaii.
Rihanna?
That's
Brazil.
Comfy?
Comfy. Oh, yeah. The
string of flowers.
String of flowers, yeah.
What a fucking waste of time.
Oh,
Can you imagine? Comes out the Pokemon. Comfy, go. The trainer's going to be in stitches. Absolute stitches. Ridiculous. Those are the honourable mentions. But because I am a Gen 1er, I'm a Gen 1er thoroughbred. I've got to the one Pokemon that should be incinerated and never ever brought back is fucking Weeping Bell.
Okay.
It's a glorified fleshlight.
Oh man.
And the clue's in the name. Weeping Bell. It's disgusting.
Oh.
Absolutely disgusting. It needs to be incinerated. And
Agreed.
Victory Bell, that's like, oh, I've finished. And you're victorious, and it's bigger, it's full, it's disgusting. The whole evolution line is wrong, and whoever designed that needs their hard drive checking.
God. Oh wow.
Passionate about that.
Right. I've got 2 answers right now.
Question.
And one will definitely get me killed at the card shows we're about to go to. Eevee. Fuck off. I'm sorry. You take out that Pokemon and half the fan base is gone with it, and I've probably offended more women than ever before. But I'm sorry. That Pokemon just annoys the hell out of me. Until it gets a ghost type, I do not care for it. Simple as that. But the real... What's that?
In Generation 10, do you think there could be a ghost type one?
I think it'll be flying. It makes sense with the alleged leak of Wind and Waves. It makes sense for it to be a flying Eevee type. But yeah, that would get rid of a fair few speculative people in the hobby. But obviously, I think in terms of questionable stuff, Drifloon.
That was the one I was thinking.
Yeah, let's get rid of the Epstein of the Pokemon world.
The child stealer.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Question.
Yes.
Next question. Producer Aaron. Dan, can I borrow a tenner?
No.
Okay.
I'm broke.
Next question. Lauren Holmes. Lauren Holmes, what's your biggest regret on selling or buying a card?
Okay. Is it Lauren or Lawrence?
Just Lauren.
Could be Lauren. Okay. Sorry about that, Lauren. Apologies for calling you Lawrence.
Aaron's now just gender checking on VAR. Lauren or Lawrence, however you identify.
VAR check.
Field.
Oh, ref.
Sorry, Lawrence.
He'll love that.
I was typing very quickly.
So could you repeat the, was it biggest regret on buying or selling?
Next question. Lawrence Holmes, what's your biggest regret on selling or buying a card?
I think mine was tackled earlier, but there's probably a couple I can think of buying, but I'll let you go, Rich.
So I've noted 3 here. Ripping, so obviously buying the Pokemon Center Mega Evolutions, we know how hard it is to get hold of those, and then deciding to rip them live on the stream after goading the chat into doing it for likes and quite possibly being the worst ever ETBs I've ever opened. So that one left me with emotional damage. And then
Brilliant.
I would say that I sold the SIR Gardevoir from Paldean Fates when I pulled it, and I didn't realise, because I was new to it, I didn't realise that that was a good card. And I went, I'll just sell it. And I got like 60 quid for it. And then I bought it back like 2 months later. And then finally, biggest regret probably is buying the 151 Japanese Zard from Japan, thinking I was buying it for a decent price of £160, only to be hit by fucking customs.
Yep.
And then it cost me like 220, and it was only 180 to start with. So, absolute clown shoes moment for me.
Yep. So I figured mine out, and it was a auction purchase off of Stanley Gibbons Baldwin during one of their Pokemon auctions. I bought what was meant to be a sealed case of Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center ETBs. I will say this was post me getting rid of the Charmander, and I bought the case and I paid a decent price for it because it was before the ETBs really spiked in value. Only to open the case, and it wasn't a sealed case. There was 3 of them in there, and the bastards never refunded me. So fuck you, Stanley Gibbons or Baldwins.
That's shocking.
Yep.
How can they get away with that?
Auctioneers, mate. It's no different to Golden.
Scumbags. Well, I think you win that one, to be honest, because that's awful.
What did you buy?
Oh,
What did you buy the Gardevoir back for, Richard?
£75.
Too bad.
It's not
Not too bad.
awful, but it's. I sometimes, when I open stuff and I'm correcting it with Ascended Heroes, is I'd open it and then I go, right, I'll just sell off all the hits. And then I'll go, actually, do I want to do something with that? Do I want to do something with this? So I'm going, right, I'm not selling anything for at least a month or two. And then I'll make a decision on what to do next.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Kanto Kings. What has been the biggest highlight since you started collecting? There was more to this question, but the question cut off, so we'll do what's the biggest highlight since you started collecting.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, mate. I would say that there's no one singular highlight, but the highlight itself within the time.
That doesn't answer the question.
All right. The highlight has been the people within the hobby since I started collecting, because collecting can be a very singular, isolated hobby, and you can obtain a certain amount of joy from it, but you will enjoy it a hell of a lot more with like-minded people. And my God, it has been the last 12, 13, 14 months, whatever it's been, has been fantastic. So I would say in collecting Pokemon, the people are the highlight of the hobby.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Totally, I like 100% unanimously agree. The people make the hobby, and it's been really fun interacting with how differently people collect, and just how people in the hobby are. Like we've made some great friendships out of it. And yeah, that's arguably the best, 100%.
Next question. Curtis Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
How did you two meet?
It was a Friday night. It was dark alleyway.
I was about to start singing. I saw him in a smoky room, hot wine and cheap perfume,
being towed by a Drifloon.
How did we meet? How actually?
By play trade. So
it would have been by play trade, yeah.
That was the first time, and I thought your name was Matt, and because I'd spoken to Matt, and I was like, I'm pretty sure his name's Matt. And then from then, I would say the moment that we became best buds was when you went, oh, you're a Curio collector, aren't you? And I was like, oh, fucking hell, he's just recognised me. And I think that's the first time anyone's ever gone, oh, you're that guy. And I'm like, oh my God. And I dropped off a submission or something like that, I think. And we did a little video, and because you love a video cameo,
Fuck yeah.
You sly dog.
I'm a whore for the videos.
It was from there that it sort of then took off, and then obviously when you moved on to Pastures New, I think we spent a lot of time eating roast dinners at select pubs across Southampton and the New Forest.
Yes.
Plotting our next moves.
We've just doxed ourselves. I mean, everyone knows where we are anyway, but yes, we've just totally doxed ourselves.
And it was
shit.
But yeah, it was. That's what we. I think that was the most time we spent with each other, and then it just grew from there. And then Emily started getting involved, and then the next thing you know, it's come dine with me.
That's it, yeah. And what fucking great episodes they are. Jesus Christ! As a fat man that loves food, and dear God, that your wife cooks a mean roast. Honest to God. But then so does Kanto and his wife. Like, that you had me at food, mate. Not gonna lie. Literally, you're like, yeah, should we go eat? I was like, yes. Did we? It's literally the scene from Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Yep. Like, literally.
There was
Put
one
some chips on the plate.
we went to this one pub for lunch, and it was a lovely pub, and it was overlooking the water, and it was like really nice walk down to get to this pub, and we spent a couple of hours chatting away and things like that, and then drinks, food, and then to get back up to the car, it was like climbing Mount Everest. Trying to get back to the car, there was no car park. It's parked on the road. It was an absolute nightmare. I nearly had an aneurysm.
Literally, it was like trying to drop the ring off in Mordor, mate. It was that level of like climbing ability. I didn't think of it. Like, it was a stupid idea. Never again. We just go on. We'll literally just go to pubs that are on sea level. Like, at this point, like if it's flat road, yeah.
But there we go. That's how we met.
Another one from Curtis Meredith. What's both of your favourite sets and potentially your favourite card ever?
Oh, I mean, the easiest answer right now is 151 because it's the nostalgia set. But like, if I was to go back, it would be one of the e-reader sets just because I missed it, and now to look at, it's just so fucking cool. Like, it didn't get a lot of love then, and it's getting a lot of love now because of the rarity factor of it. But like, there's just something about that style of art back then that I just love. So yeah, 151 modern for nostalgia, but probably, I couldn't give a definitive set, but it would just be the e-reader era.
I think I've gone sort of full basic bitch and picked 151 as well, because it's kind of like a facilitator for me in how I'm going to be collecting for 2026.
The gateway drug.
Yeah, 100%. But there are two which I think there are honourable mentions for, which I think have drawn me back into vintage. And that is Team Rocket and also Gym Challenge, more than Gym Heroes. Gym Challenge feels a little bit darker, and I love the artwork in both of those, to be fair. The artwork in there, to me, it elevates from when I look at base to then go to Team Rocket. I feel that the artwork makes a considerable jump from base to there. I just think that they progressively got better, which is what you'd hope anyway. But those sets, Challenge, Heroes, Team Rocket, Rocket Returns as well. That's another one which is I really like that one. I love the artwork in there. Some of the cards are absolutely stunning. But yeah, if I had to pick one, then it's going to be 1511.
Skyridge.
Nice.
Coatlectibles. That, and is it? I don't know how you say it. Is it Aquapolis?
Aquapolis, yeah.
Yeah, them two. They're like the e-reader sets, but I do like them two sets. But then obviously 151, like you said. Coatlectibles. Honest opinion. How concerned are you feeling about where Pokemon is heading in 2026?
Just going to jump into this before you rant, Dan. Just see what I saw then was a sharp intake of breath.
It's because I almost choked on my tongue.
So huge shout out to Coatlectibles. Josh, who owns and runs Coatlectibles, is quite possibly one of the nicest human beings I've ever met through Instagram. And the company and everything that he does with his cleaning products, polishing, everything to do with that, when it comes to card restoration as well, that is my go-to. And that is what I use with my company, because he is the science behind it is just phenomenal, and I love what he does. So I just want a quick plug here. If you are on coatlectibles.com, then please use Curio for a 10% discount code. And honestly, please check them out if you're interested in cleaning cards. You should put it in the comments if you're interested in cleaning, and let us know. and I'm more than happy to give some advice if it's required. But yeah, massive shout out to Coatlectibles. Go, Dan.
Well, I think right now the hobby is in another tumultuous place. I don't think this year. I think this year will be one of the biggest years that we're seeing because it's an anniversary year. So prices are only going to go crazier and crazier and crazier. But it will level out post Ruby Sapphire decks, which will be releasing probably January next year as the last set of the Mega era before Wind and Waves. Yeah, I'm not too concerned. It's a shit show. Like it's been a shit show since Prismatic, since Surgeon. Really, we've had a couple of sets that have been somewhat moderately available everywhere, and then every other set is just out of print. Stock's not there. You see Pokemon making these plays, buying up distribution channels, opening bigger warehouses. We're still not going to see those effects for 2-3 years. Like, unfortunately, the game we're in right now is whoever has the deepest pockets wins. And that comes to both stock availability, reselling, and everything else. Like, the market price is unfortunately going to be the standard for a considerable amount of time until such time that they print enough to flood the market to make it available and unappealing to the masses.
And that happened, didn't it? That happened previously.
Yeah, it has happened previously. I mean, it happened. That was the state of play just before 151. And I mean, even 151, to be fair, because that was still available every day. The UPCs were available on PokemonCenter.com daily. So, ultimately, it was... You couldn't really put a pin in it apart from around the Surge and Sparks Prismatic era, where, again, the EV fans started a riot and we're still mopping up from it. So, yeah, 2026 is a write-off. 2027, I would like to think we'll get somewhere, but this train isn't stopping for a good while.
And go on, sorry.
I could remember pre-ordering 151 and just being able to pre-order as much as you wanted. And I was like, it'd be fine. I'll be able to get some more when it comes out. I don't need that much right now. It'll be okay. And then, yeah, we're here. I think they were selling UPCs for like 60 quid because they couldn't get rid of them. They were putting them on sale for like 60 quid. Yeah, because they just couldn't get them off the shelf.
That was one of my regrets last year. In that I saw a video I put out this time last year saying, I can see the UPCs are 260 quid. I'm not paying that because that's ridiculous prices compared to when they were sold for. And now you look, what are they now? 500, 600 quid?
Yeah. About 455. It's crazy.
You look back on it and you think, Jesus Christ. So it sort of ties in with what you were saying about rep product and, Pokemon Center stuff and give it 10 years and how much is it going to be? So it's, and I think that's what brings the investor bros to the scene, isn't it?
Yeah. And their pockets are unfortunately deep as shit. So I'm happy with Coke Fanatic frat bros with daddy's money buying up stupidly expensive cards. Let them have it. That'll bite them in the ass in the long term. Couldn't give a shit. But when it comes to sealed and all that stuff, the demand outweighs the stock because anyone can rip and ship now, and rip and shippers will make a profit whatever price they're buying at, and they're ultimately their pockets are deep, be it they've tied up contracts with eBay Live, whatnot, Tilt, whatever streaming platforms are out there. They have such deep pockets that stock is not an issue for them. And it's not about knowing your local TCG store anymore. It's about tapping up managers at Smith's, Costco, the big stores, and being like, I will take all of your stock and give you a kickback on top. And there are people out there that will do that. There always will be. So it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, always. Absolutely. And everything.
Yeah.
My quick take on it is I think that the hype is going to grow around 30th. I think we'll see the drop off after, which tunes in exactly what you were saying, Dan. I think the interest will maintain because of the players that are coming into the space. So we're seeing more and more people playing the game. And I think that is refreshing and I want to see more of it. And it's nice. It's really nice to see. If anyone's got any PokePads, let me know. And I think the value in slabs will keep investor bros in the hobby, and it's just sort of tunes in exactly with what you were saying. So, yeah, 2026 I think is going to be one where tread carefully, tread water. I'm not making any. I'll say I'm not making any big plays. I don't make any big plays anyway. I buy stuff that I like to put in a binder, for Christ's sake. I'm not a good investor. I just buy stuff because I like it, and I think that's probably not that anyone's asking for my advice, but that's probably how I would look at it. And I would go, although I think there is a question coming up actually in how would you do it. So I'll shut up and we'll come back to it.
Waterlooville TCG.
Oh,
do you
God.
think the anniversary curse will strike again with the current conditions?
Dan, you've been around longer.
I haven't been around that much, to be fair. Anniversary curse. Possibly. I mean, let's be honest, that queue on Pokemon Center, the second that stock drops, is going to be a 6-hour queue unless you like got in within 2 milliseconds. I don't know. I'm interested to see the product.
Like, it'll be black and gold, Dan. I know it. It's going to be black and gold. It's going to look fucking amazing. I'm sorry to be the hype beast, but it's going to look. You saw the starter opening scene stuff for the accessories. You just know it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to be good. It's gonna be. I don't want it to be like the 25th, where it's just here's a 30th anniversary stamp on an old card with new backgrounds and stuff. I've said that since it was like since we got into it and since Pocket was announced, there is artwork in Pocket that would make sense to be released as TCG cards.
Yes,
and there's no better set to do it in than the 30th and bring that to life. They could also go absolutely wild and go, oh, all those Chinese exclusives, here they are as fucking promos in all of this product, and just really wipe out the fucking Chinese market overnight. But yeah, I there's going to be a lot of happy people, and on the other side, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people, because no one is going to be ultimately happy with their interpretation of whatever the 30th is. But yeah, stock is going to be terrible. So it's going to be impossible.
Let's just drill down on that, because I don't think there's any other questions particularly about 30th stock. So let's talk price points for a second. Give me some predictions. I won't pin you to this, but what's your thoughts on, so when that stock drops and you get an ETB, a Pokemon Center ETB, right? You're talking about selling one for 350, 400 quid at the moment. And that's 5 years ago, 25 year. What's this one going to do when it comes out in October or near that time?
So to go back before we go to the 30th, so obviously the Pokemon Center version is 350, 400 quid. The regular version is 200 to 250. Okay, so it's only a 4x theoretically on the regular versus the Pokemon Center at 7 to 8x. The Generations box from the 20th anniversary is around a 1,800 to 2,000 pound ETB. So could the 25th hit that? Who knows? But 30th wise, resale 100% Pokemon Center versions will be selling around 250, 300 quid. There'll be a lot of people buying them, whether or not it's, scalping groups or whatever, clearing them up to, speculate on it. But the regular ones will probably be around the 120 to 150 mark. We'll see a lot of people panic sell, but the smart people will just pick up as much Pokemon Center stock as possible and sit on it. But in the weeks leading to it, 100% it will be a 6x. By the time it comes out, it'll probably sit around, I reckon, the 150 to 180 mark for the Pokemon Center, and the regular will be about 100 to 120. But again,
that. That's the thing, is that when you look at it and you go, right, well, if I'm not lucky enough to secure anything, then I have ways and means in regards to, and it does tune in with it's who you know as opposed to what you know. And I think I've got a good chance of being able to secure at least one, even if it's not Pokemon Center. So I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? But if it does, it comes to secondary market, me personally, I'll buy at least one. That's the one thing that I would probably buy at market.
Yeah. I mean, the only good thing right now is that the 25th, obviously, you had Amazon exclusive products, you had game exclusive products. Game now don't exist, so that exclusive product will probably move to Smith's Toys, maybe, or whoever else is out in that sphere. Amazon will be a tough one because that'll be invite only. I would hope there's plenty of stock to go around and that they'll do maybe a 6-month drop period on it, but who knows? With how they're restocks are now on modern product, we could be one drop and done and see you later. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's. I just wanted to get your opinion on that because I think it's going to be very relevant as we move towards it.
Yeah.
Next one.
Another one from Curtis. How did you come about starting NFCC and vending?
So I can tackle NFCC because that's something between myself and Emily. We started that up. And is very much my right-hand man when it comes to telling me what to do and how to do it properly. Disclaimer. But no, so when we actually started our first event, if you can call it that, on the 2nd of March 2025, after looking at the collecting space and going, what's near us? And the answer was not a lot. We had a shop in Southampton, we had a shop in Christchurch, and that was kind of like, we're in between. We've got nothing local to us. So we thought, well, if you build it, will they come? Is there a Pokemon interest in the area? So we set up in a cafe and wanted to see if anyone was interested. It just so happens that cafe probably seated about 30 people and we were like 50, 60 people deep. And it was stressful. It was very stressful. We had no idea how popular it was going to be. And then it just took off from there. Then we took on a church hall and it maximum capacity of about 80 to 90 people, plus outside space. We filled that. We sold out, and then it just kept growing from there. And what's nice about it is it's just organically grown. We've made mistakes that we've then learnt on, and to try and make sure that we appeal to everyone. But then it's just grown from there, and now we're at a venue which will take between 200 and 300 people. In our vendors' ethos, the same as ours. That's one of the things that we are really passionate on, and it's just gone from strength to strength. And we're now looking at what we do next. So the next one is the 23rd of May, the day after Chaos Rising. Are you coming to that one, Aaron?
23rd of May?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Ooh.
65% chance.
Okay. I like it.
If I'm there, you'll know.
So that should be a really good one, and I will be there in some capacity, whether I'm behind the scope showing people how to pre-grade, or I'm going to be on the floor just sort of chatting to people and actually getting a chance to come away from the table and get a real feel for the event itself, because it goes like that and you don't have a chance to talk to people other than the ones that are sat at your table. Dan, you vended for the first time.
Yes.
Properly?
Yeah.
What's your take on vending and starting that? You got
to have eyes in the back of your head. I mean, literally, kids are the most unscrewed. I mean, well, it's everyone, to be fair. You have to be watching everyone. But yeah, live vending, it was good fun. And that's what it needs to be. I mean, let's be honest, it's retail in just a hole. That's the only difference. It's just having fun, going there to sell stuff, not flex. The good thing about your event, is everyone's there to sell stuff. They're not there to showcase. They're not there to go, I've got this, $5,000 slab that no one's walking in to buy. It's very much, here's some stuff, here's some unique stuff, here's some stuff to buy. And yeah, it was really good. Obviously, we are vending together at some upcoming shows, because obviously you're booked in for card restoration, cleaning, pre-grading at certain events. So you'll get a proper taste for it outside of your little bubble. And so will I, to be fair, because obviously we'll be traveling for some of them. But yeah, it's nice. The beautiful thing about vending is you meet a ton more different people, and you just get to sell shit. It's just good. Like, you cut deals, you make people happy, and you get some money in your pocket. Like, what's not to love?
I think that's one of the things. When you sell to people, as long as if you win, they win. Everyone wins, right? And
that's it.
I think that's the playing field that we should be on, and that's what I see in a lot of card shows where it's the opposite. It's you've either got someone trying to lowball ridiculously, or you go the other end and you've got vendors that are charging extortionate prices for stuff.
Or vending car boot sales up here. Next question from the Pokemike. What is your best Pokemon holiday set?
Oh. I mean, technically 151 is a holiday set, but
Trick or Trade 23.
Trick or Trade. God, McDonald's promos from 1999. No, I you know what? Actually, to not take the piss, the Burger King 23 carat cards from back in the day,
Yes.
they were sick. Like
Ellis
it's a
got
deep,
one of them in a ball.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
deep cut. It was one of the coolest. That was one of the first outside of Pokemon card trades we did when BPT was like small. Was we had a set of those, and Mark didn't want to sell them, and you know the ethos was, well, everything's for sale. That's the whole point of opening a fucking store. And then a dude walked in, saw them, was like, yeah, I need to buy them, and we sold them. And ever since then, it's just like, well, it was a period where PSA weren't grading them, and then they started grading them again. You're like, shit, and then they've stopped grading them again. So, but yeah, that would be my loose holiday set outside of 151, or maybe like the Radiant collection from Generations.
That's my
technically.
answer, because that's the one that I've master setted. That one. That's really the only one that I've collected, apart from 151, obviously. So that would be, yeah, that's my answer.
Nice. Next question, producer Aaron.
Can I answer
20
no?
Rich, can I borrow 15 quid? What's your favourite cereal?
My favourite cereal?
Crave hazelnut.
I don't eat it. It used to be back in the day, before everything got, before when numbers were cool.
Shrinkflation.
It would have been Cocoa Pops.
It would have been Weetabix when they were the size of a house brick.
Yeah, but the problem was, and the reason why I'm the size I am now, is I used to take the Weetabix and I used to fucking stack them. So what we used to do is I'm going to walk you through the biggest Weetabix stack I've ever done. All right,
this is gone off piece very quickly.
You take 2 Weetabix like that. All right, and you sugar layer it. Then you take 2 more Weetabix, but then milk on top. Then you sugar layer that one, and then the final is we then layer the 3rd row with 6 deep milk on top of that one. And what you start to get is these Weetabix foundations start to get very soft.
You start to get diabetes. That's what you start to get. If there's any doctors watching this, they're like, how the fuck is this man alive? Like,
This guy kept farmers in business.
Sugar layer on top. And then
like finish with the sugar layer.
And then it's the as we cut the spoon through, you get the different crunch. You get the initial crunch, then through the second layer, and then through the softy layer at the bottom. Yeah.
I was going to say, what size spoon? Are you sure you're not using a garden shovel at that point? Like,
I could have used that. I mean, it was the stuff of dreams, although I couldn't ever show my mum that I was doing that. She'd go, where's all the Weetabix gone? Don't know.
Nothing 48 yesterday, Richard.
Don't know. I've just had what appears to be King Kong's finger come out of my rectum.
Can you imagine the pain?
Right, back to it. Pokemon. Which events / shows would you recommend for families? Fun collecting, nothing too intense.
100% NFCC, which is obviously my own one, but genuinely, we've built it so that you've got a separate trade area where people can focus on trading with one another, 100% value to 100% value. Then you've got the Sen area for people that need a bit of a timeout and want to chill out a little bit, so it's away from all the noise and the activity. Then you've got the main hall. So it's with 15 vendors, thereabouts, 15 to 20, let's say. And it is a more chilled environment. And it is kind of like it will get you into the idea of what a card show will be like on a bigger scale. But also, a shout out to another one, which I think is really good, is CardCon UK. So I've got to read this off because I can't remember all of this at once. But Dan and I are going to CardCon UK on 1st of March, which is Sunday.
Yes.
So we're going up to there. That is Tom Liscote Sports Centre, Frimley, Camberley. And they're going to have everything. They're going to have Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, sports cards, One Piece, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's I've been dealing with Al, who has got exactly the same ethos that we have with NFCC. And his tickets are super affordable. I think it's like £5 for a family. So really, really family focused to try and make it accessible for everyone. Those are the two that I would definitely say keep an eye out for that. It's Mortal Cards are the company that do it, but CardCon is on the 1st of March, which hopefully we can get the pod out before then.
Yes, I mean, hopefully we can. I mean, producer Aaron's nodding. I mean, should we put some pressure on him to get it out before then?
I can do it. I'll do it.
Should we give away 2 tickets to CardCon on Sunday,
Yes.
Rich,
Yeah,
as
we can do that.
part of the pod? So if you've reached this far, thank you and apologies. But yeah, reach out to us on DM and at the Rip and Sit Pod on Instagram. And yeah, first couple of people to message us will get 2 tickets to the event.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good thing that we can do, and it would be nice to meet some people that listen to the pod, so they can give us the constructive feedback that we need,
Or unconstructive feedback, because I don't care.
Yeah.
The next question is from Amy, Mrs. C. If you were to restart collecting from scratch in the current market, where would you start?
Raw Pokemon you like. Don't master set. Don't fall into the hype cycle of, oh, new set's out, I must get on it. Just do a nice art binder, a nice Pokemon you like binder. Hunt for singles. Have a budget. Do that. Don't we're too FOMO'd in now that every 2 months it's like we must do it, and then you have 2 months to complete the set. Put that shit behind you. Literally just do a nice, collect what you like and just fill a binder with what you like. And I've seen so many people recently in the store do exactly that, and it is very, very cool. So do that. That would be my advice.
And I think we didn't actually discuss what our answers would be beforehand, but that is exactly what I'm doing for 2026. So I've opened a reasonable amount of Ascended Heroes, and we've got a little bit of Perfect Order. I'm sure I'll open Chaos Rising, and then the one beyond that as well. However, what a commitment I am making this year is I'm not master setting. So the only thing that I've gone for, Surging Sparks, which, by the way, spoiler alert, I found out I'm missing a fucking card. I thought I'd done it, and then I'm missing a trainer, SIR. So I'm furious. But I am doing quite possibly the biggest ever collection, which I think I told you about on Sunday, or Friday. It's going to be called the Monster Decks. And it is going to be all to do with 151, the original Gen 1 Pokemon. 1 page of a 12 pocket binder per Pokemon. It's 7 binders deep. It'll be volumes 1 through 7. And I am so excited to do it. I'm going to do a series on my TikTok. And I'm getting all the binders laser engraved and putting my logo on the back, all that sort of stuff. I'm going for it, and that is what I'm going to focus on. I've already got a massive stock of cards already. I'm going to pick off what I want here and there, and it's going to be the best portrayal of Pokemon. Actually, no, it's 2 pages. I decided to do 2 pages. It's going to be 2 pages per Pokemon, so that's why there's 7 binders, because the mathematicians in the room are going to go,
absolutely insane.
You don't need 7 binders for that. So, yeah, that's going to be...
Everybody send your cards to Rich. Everybody send your cards to Rich.
That's going to be my commitment to 2026. And through 2026, I'll use the sets that I pull from this year to then reinvest back into the singles that I want to buy. And then I'll build that collection out. And I'll feel that by the end of 2026 and beyond, I'll have something that I truly, truly love and want to have in my collection.
Smart way of doing it.
Yeah.
I
like
also
that idea.
I'll also have an Electabuzz binder as well. More on that later.
Right, next question. I don't know if I'm saying this right. MGLister, MGLister. He says, what are your top 5 collecting related content creators?
Okay. So I've got mine already, Dan, if you want to, or unless you've got your 5. Because I'm not going to say the normal ones that we would normally say.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, for me personally, because again, I know a couple of them, but for people I watch, that it would be for investment content advice, and I know that is like the absolute. Oh yeah, there's too many dickheads that talk about it right now. But the one that's not a dickhead, that actually has sound advice is Pokepond on YouTube. Pokepond 1, I believe he is on YouTube. Actually, a decent guy, backs up what he says. Isn't trying to sell you a fucking Discord access to make money, gives it out there. It's genuinely honest. For overall fun content, Pokemike. I know I'm a whore because I'm in most of his videos, but I do love just being involved in any crazy idea that he comes up with. In terms of others within the scene, there's Bulbasaur in America, Dylan. See, it's where I got my shirts from. He does a lot of American vending content and is a really nice dude. So I watch a lot of his stuff because it gives me a general idea of shows. And then for like Japanese content and stuff, pretty much you could just throw a dart on YouTube and there's someone in Japan at all times. But it was Amir up until he stopped vlogging recently. And then for the UK side, it would be probably I am watching a bit of Max Does Pokemon. I think it's Max Does Pokemon because he obviously recently opened a store. So it was good to see the comments and his take on what it took to open up a store, because it's not easy. And, you know, to get that sort of you only ever see it when it's done. You never see that what it takes to get there. So yeah, those would be the 5 at the moment.
Okay, cool. So obviously, you know, special shout out to our friends Kanto Kings and Pokemike, as you say. Some of Mike's stuff recently, I think his content has leveled up.
I thought you were going to say level down. It was shit. His content's been shit recently.
It's so funny, some of the stuff he's coming up with. I'm really enjoying it. So I think, yeah, he's and you think you don't expect it from him either, because he's so quiet, but then actually he's got so many big ideas, and he's funny, very funny. So the 5 that I'm going to give you, I'm going to start off with ones that we know. So it is PokeMum Future Trainers Club. She started I think it's CIC, which is it's like a charity related company, which is to do with Pokemon play, and it's gone through her journey, and I've been watching it and following it, and it's absolutely brilliant to see. So that's really nice. It's quite inspiring, and she's put a lot of hard work into that. So that'd be her. Part of my Discord, Heatherly Rips. I love watching her master set journey. She's an absolute lunatic. She's a crazy, crazy lady, and we love her for it. But she is going through her Scarlet and Violet master sets, and she's literally got to catch them all, and she's hammering it right now. She's on the home straight now, so it's been really enjoyable to watch her content. Rips Collectibles. I watched one of his videos today. Again, he's local to us, and he started off a video by sticking an Ascended Heroes to his head, and I was just,
Sounds like him.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, again, it made me laugh. It got emotion out of me, and he's a lovely lad as well, really helpful. Another one for you in regards to I think he plays the game quite a lot, but it's Trainer Scout, which is underscore. This is all TikTok, by the way. Underscore Trainer Scout. Underscore Trainer underscore Scout. He has his own podcast as well called Critical Hits, which is very good. They look more towards the playing the TCG, but also include other parts as well. So I thought his is good. And then not a collecting as much, but some of the work that she puts in is ND underscore custom rugs. Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, those are insane.
Holy shit balls. She's just done the is it James, what's his name? The artist that done the Pikachu.
Yes, yeah, the Terra stylized Pikachu.
Yeah, oh my God, she's done that rug, and if I had space in here, I would do it. I'm contemplating putting one on the bloody wall. They're that good.
Yeah, they are sick.
I mean, they're going to cost a lot of money, but the amount of time and work and effort she puts into that, yeah, 100%. Please follow her. Absolutely brilliant. Or follow all of them, please.
Yeah.
They're
we'll
amazing.
put all their links in the description on the YouTube and stuff, to be fair.
Definitely.
Because most of mine are on YouTube and Instagram. Obviously, I am on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok, so I don't see all of those creators, so I apologize unless you come across me. But the obvious GOAT, which we didn't mention, and he is the GOAT for the best reasons possible, especially after the most recent collect all English Umbreon video, Pat, Deep Pocket Monster. Like that, he is the pinnacle of what collecting and the hobby is about. If you don't have emotions, you will do by the end of that video.
Yes. What a lovely, lovely video. I won't spoil it for anyone, but it's stunning. And the thing is he's transformed long form video. You know, we're in a world where you'll watch for 6 seconds and you'll scroll past it. And his long form videos, we sit down and plan to watch it as a film because they are that fun and that engaging. And I love what he does. And he's another one of the reasons why I do what I do now in the content creation. So
yep. Dude, when he goes live, or like when a premiere video goes live on YouTube, I'm like, well, I ain't going to sleep till 3 a.m. today.
Yeah.
You know, you just prep for it at that point, and it's like, yeah, 2 hours later, you're like, holy shit, this has been crazy. And I've sat through films and been like, what have I done this for? But every video he does is just quality.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Awesome. Good. Next up.
Another one from MGLister. What are 2 top tips for new collectors?
I think Dan nailed this earlier. Collect what you love. Don't buy into FOMO because I've been there. I've been that guy. I bought into it and I've gone, I need to collect every single set. And it does not work and it is not sustainable.
Yeah. This is the most powerful thing you have in the hobby. Download eBay, download Alt, download Collector, download whatever informational apps are out there about pricing. Don't feel bad to walk away from anything you're looking at if the price doesn't feel right. That is the other top tip. There are so many vendors that will work with you. If they don't, it's because they're in it for too much and they don't want to adjust, or they're just shit. You know, that is the most powerful tool. Data doesn't lie. Yes, it can be manipulated, but 9 times out of 10, it's not. So just use your phone. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to negotiate. There's markups on pretty much everything when you go to a trade show, that most of them operate on percentages, and cash is king.
Cream. Right. We've got 5 or 6 questions from Kane Kenny.
Yeah. Bring it on, Kane.
Here we go.
First one's a quick one. Why are people drawn to Pokemon in adulthood?
Oh, good question. I think that it stems from childhood. If you look at the collectible scene, it's become more and more popular over the, since COVID. COVID has driven collectibles. During COVID, I'm not ashamed to say, I'm also a football fan. I was knee deep in football shirts. I had a childhood football shirt collection, which I'm not ashamed to say that none of them fitted me anymore. So I saw.
Weetabix.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers, Weetabix. That and fucking apple juice. Cheers, guys. It's full of sugar. Well, it's natural. Piss off. So I sold all my football shirts and then instantly regretted it. And then I thought, do you know what? I'll go into a football shirt selling business. And I started doing it. I started selling them on eBay and everything else. And I thought, I'll start buying in these shirts and I'll get the number printing and I'll buy a heat press and then I'll print the numbers and then I'll be able to like double X my sales. And then I ended up with a load of fake shirts because I don't know what I'm fucking looking at. And half the problem is that I've got such an ADHD brain that I'm in it for about 10 minutes and then I'm out. But I think with Pokemon has the ability to be able to keep you in the space. And the reason it keeps you in the space is, one, we touched on it earlier, I think the people make the hobby. It's actually what Pat Flynn said. He said, you arrive for the Pokemon, but you stay for the community. In all of the things that I've been interested in, whether it be bloody sneakers, which I wasn't in for very long, I have to say, football shirts, other film-related memorabilia, this has been the one that has kept me there because of the people that are in it. So I would say there's going to be nostalgia. That's the answer. It's nostalgia, and also it's cool. It's the artwork's great, and you can detract from adulthood and just have fun playing with cardboard.
That's it. It's a multi-generational hobby now. It's something you can leave for your kids. It's something you can enjoy with your kids or your significant other. These conversations always arise when someone's partner's like, I don't understand why he's so invested in Pokemon cards. Would you rather he was down the pub railing 5 racks off the back of a toilet stool and then not coming back until Sunday morning after leaving on a Friday night? There are worse things out there than some shiny cardboard, to be fair. But yeah, it's a multi-generational hobby. And ultimately, we are still kids, but we now have adult money, and we can afford all the shit that we couldn't get when we were kids.
Afford it now.
It's because you got kids.
That's it, mate. Wait, mate, they've just taken the child cap benefit off, so pop them out, mate, and you'll be able to afford them all.
Well, kids are Pokemon.
How much of collecting is driven by nostalgia versus financial gain?
Ooh.
Oh God, I mean, right now it's more financial gain than it is nostalgia.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it
100%.
is swung way over that way for financial gain. There are people in this hobby now that walk in and go, "Oh, what's the rarest card that you can pull from a pack up here?" I go, "Oh yeah, that pack that's there up there for like 30 quid can contain a £1,000 card. Yeah, I'll take 10 of them." Yeah, they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll take 10 of them." It's gambling. It's gambling in a new form, and again, you spend that 300 quid in a slot machine down at the bookies, or you buy 10 packs of old chase set, and you're more likely to get a return out of the Pokemon cards, maybe by 0.01%, but at least you're not smashing up someone else's property afterwards. So
yeah, I think at the moment we are looking at in the investment more than nostalgia, because you're almost bringing new collectors in. I think through this year we're going to see people find more collections hidden away in lofts because of the exposure. I mean, if you look at not just the fact that Logan Paul did his sales and whatever, you've also got Time Magazine releasing more magazines for 30th anniversary. You've got more exposure, more media coverage. So that's going to promote people to go up into their lofts and go, "Oh, there's that binder over there that I found, and it's got that first edition Lugia, and oh my God, how much is that worth?" And then they sell them, and then they end up buying however many ETBs for Ascended Heroes until they're printed to demand. So, yeah.
What is a current set you think is mispriced right now?
Dragon Frontiers.
Jesus Christ.
Deoxys.
Oh, anything in the hype cycle, really. The thing is, pricing's subjective. Wherever you go, like up and down the country, pricing changes so dramatically. It's crazy. So in low-income areas, packs tend to be cheaper. In high-income areas like London, they're crazy expensive because it's that expectation of price, the value of the area. So ultimately, anything that's, and I'm guilty of it myself, anything above RRP is just horrid. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But unfortunately, the market is the market, and until we get to that whole overprint business like we spoke about, people don't care. They want the product and they'll pay for it.
Do we think that Crown Zenith is undervalued at the moment?
I mean, pack-wise, it's a hard set to get hold of now. It's out of print. It's Sword Shield. Has a lot of cool cards. All rates were really nice. But do you want to spend on average 45 to 60 quid for free packs? Because that was the odds of getting a Galarian Gallery card at the time.
Well, why don't we, instead of looking at pack price, why don't we look at master set value? And are there any sets that are perhaps undervalued at the moment? That we've done a little bit.
151.
Yeah. Do you think that's undervalued at the moment?
Yeah. It is way cheaper to buy a master set of 151 than to rip.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You need some insane pack luck in order to get the value out of packs. So yeah, 151. I mean, let's be honest. All the sets are. In terms of pack value, like in terms of set, it's cheaper to buy a master set than it is to rip, but we all like that dopamine rush, and that's why pack prices exist in the way they do, because we want to be the ones to pull it. We don't want easy mode. We want that magical moment of seeing something with a rainbow or a nice silver border and being like, please be the chase.
I really want to. I have done that. I've done that, and I've had that feeling with the Mega Charizard, Mega Charizard X. That was amazing. That feeling, you want it again. It's like it's like that time you take crack. And you're like, well, I need to do that again.
Well, I've never taken crack, and I've not pulled a Mega Charizard, but obviously you two fuckers have. So, yeah, that feeling's clearly quite nice.
Mega Charizard, not crack. Just need to say that.
Both, my bad. I did not, just for legal reasons.
Just in case the police are watching.
Stay in school. So, next question. What was the card that got you hooked? And what's the one card you never sell?
Sold them all, so yeah. Questions wasted on me. I think if we go back to the old days, when I got a Zard, I didn't care for the Zard. I think Blastoise back in the day was that was the cool card for me. I wish I could find my childhood cards, but I just don't know. I think they've gone. They're to the wind. But yeah, obviously I've sold all the cards that I wish I'd kept. With the exception of potentially a new Growl, which is obviously I've disappeared. The Legendary Collection Charizard Reverse Hollow.
Wow.
So
Very nice.
That is probably one now that I will keep because it's just iconic.
It is stunning as well. The Blastoise, the Venusaur, and the Charizard, they clean up so well. They look absolutely stunning. It's like mirror. They are beautiful. Yeah, I can understand that. I think for me, the card that got me back into the hobby was a play stamp Charizard EX, which I bought from Dan, that he had to qualify where it was more money. It was £12 at the time. It was raw, and he went, oh yeah, that one there's a bit more money because it's play stamped. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't even know what the prices are. I don't care. And I was like, oh yeah. No, it makes sense now. Yep. So I bought that. And I bought it for my nephew. Because he started collecting series for Christmas, and I thought, I'll give him that. And then I really liked it, and I said to him, would you be interested in a trade? And he said, well, what do you mean? He's 6, by the way, and I had the Charizard EX that didn't have the play stamp, and I said, would you be prepared to trade that for the one that you've got? And he went, yeah, okay. He traded that with me. And I feel I feel bad saying this out loud.
He says through laughter and tears.
And then I graded it, and it came back and
You see that behind me? You see that character behind me?
My brother was like, what the fuck have you done? But I'll make it up to him, I promise. I will make it up to him. He's
cheers, mate. Kids crying.
Yeah. But so that one brought me back in, and the one that I will never sell is my XY Pikachu promo card in a tag 1 slab. Because it was pot 1, but some prick has decided that their card was more important. Well, news for you, pal. Yours is second. Mine's number 1. And it shouldn't have been fucking holded because it is an absolute travesty. You have a look at it on tag. It should not have been holded. It's disgusting.
Brilliant.
Got a 48 pack of Weetabix and 3 cartons of Apple juice and a tenner for that Pikachu right now. Do you think
There's
grading...
nostalgia for you.
Do you think grading's added value or ruined/distorted it? And has the rise of grading companies changed the collector behaviour?
Yes, it has. Grading shit. Like, of course it has. The second money influences anything, it no longer becomes fun. It becomes an investment tool. I mean, there's reasons why the Pokemon has outmaneuvered the S&P 500 and has been worth more than gold, and in terms of investment. Ultimately, we've talked about this before. Rich has, said about it. PSA were a coin grading company. He then moved into sport cards and whatnot. I think we need to. I think there will be a crux point where people are sick of it, but until the hype cycle dies down, and there's way too many people in it right now, we're not going to see an end to it. But what I do want to see an end to is people selling raw cards at graded fucking value. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck right off.
That's ridiculous.
This could PSA 8. This could be a 10. All my cards go out raw. I don't give a shit. Like, no, if you think you're going to get a 10 off of it, perfect.
Grade it yourself.
Yeah.
And then sell it.
Don't pitch me that this Charizard will PSA 6 and price it like that way. Like, fucking sell it to me as a 6.
But interestingly enough, I know 3 people that are in Japan at the moment, 3 different sets of people. And there was one card that I asked all of them to have a look out for me. And I'm calling it now because I'm not going to buy it. But I have a feeling this is going to go to the moon, which is the Gentlemanly Pikachu. one of the last sale prices on eBay was around about 200 quid. It was medium play or light play, I think it was classed as. Now, in Japan, those cards currently are being sold for £500 or however many thousands of yen. And they are not tens, because I've had a few pictures sent to me and they're either off center. Because let's face it, if you're in Japan and you know that a card's got a low pop, which is what you're after, you want a low gem rate, and that gem rate was, I think it was around about 30% or something along those lines, and it takes it from a PSA 10 would be around about 1,500, and you're buying in at 300. It's a massive uplift. So, yeah. But now what I think they're doing in Japan is they're going, well, okay, well, we'll hedge our bets. So we're gonna charge you £500, £600, £700. So you'll still make profit, but you've got to get a gem mint 10 then. And I think that kind of tunes in with what you were just saying there, and that's not the raw value price. That's we think it's going to be the next big card, so we're market manipulating basically. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it has changed. It's changed the landscape, because I bought one of the the Chinese exclusive Q-Bones. The one from the gem
one on the bridge.
3, yep, that's it. I love that card. I bought it for Emily's birthday, and it was harder to find a raw copy than a graded copy. And I think that that's where we're going with certain cards. So what that will do is that will push up the value of a raw card, because it's so scarce and you can't get hold of it. With like, say for instance, anything Gen 1 that is Chinese, people just grade it straight away. Boom, 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 boom. This is what I was saying about throw enough shit against the wall. Send it to Ace, and that's I'm just using Ace as an example because it's easy to do in the UK. Send it to them, but I send 50 to them. Go to Snorlax or whatever the fuck her name is. She did that with Eevees, and they came back. She profit, or it's not profit until you actually made it, but doing that means that there's less copies that are open or available in the market, which then pushes the price up. So I think we could be looking at that. On some cards, depending on how many billions are printed.
Definitely.
I think I answered the question.
What was the next question? If you had £10,000 to invest today, where would it go?
Crypto. I'm joking. Are we talking Pokemon, yeah?
Yeah, we're clearly talking Pokemon. It ain't One Piece, that's for sure.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
10 grand right now. I would be buying up as much celebration stuff as possible. Any low value Pokemon Center ETBs, ready. I would be any low value celebration slabs. I mean, the money right now is in vintage, because that's the market that's moving. So yeah, I mean, ultimately my investment advice is not to be trusted at all, but if I had 10 grand, I would be buying up a lot of Pokemon Center ETBs and celebration stuff. But if I was doing whatnot, I'd be buying every Ascended Hero product and just rinsing it.
I think that's the thing. If you're doing it as an investment strategy, then I would diversify, and I would have exactly the same as if you look at stocks and shares, and when you're buying certain stocks, you're looking at you go EFTs, things like that. I would probably go with a certain amount of slabs, but not a great deal. I would look at certain cards which I believe have got the potential to continue to run. So you're looking at popular cards, the main sort of chases, the Charizards of this world, the Umbreons, the cards like that. As long as Eevee doesn't get nuked into the ground by Dan, then I think you've got that. Then, as you say, sealed product, that's clearly a mover. I like to look at, when I'm looking at cards that I want to buy, I tend to go for raw cards that look good, but are potentially older, that aren't necessarily in the public eye or that are getting all the activity. You just you track the pricing and see what it's doing and see what you think might move in the future. But the key thing is also, if you're doing it from an investment strategy, then you take the emotion out of it. But if you're doing it because you're a collector, then it just goes right back round to collect the stuff you like, because it's probably going to increase over time anyway. Exactly the same as you buy a house. You buy a house, that house price, so you're going to have peaks and troughs. You get a valuation in 18 months' time. Has it gone down? Maybe. And then you get a valuation in 6 years' time. It's gone up. Yeah, 200 grand. Bosh. So I would say, collect what you love. Hopefully it all pulls off.
Last question. What would you change immediately if you could redesign the hobby?
Availability of product. I would make it so it's a lottery system and it just be purely via Pokemon Center. Anything like get rid of the exclusives, get rid of multinational drops, just literally have it print to demand. So
Yes.
you want 100 ETBs? Pay me now, you get them. There we go. Solves the scalping issues. Print to demand. And I would have it so it's 4 sets a year. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. There we go.
I like it. I was singing song of spring, summer, winter, or
Like
fall.
the seasonal Pokemon idea, like that.
Yeah, I think you could tune into that really, really well. So I like that. I said about caps. Can you bring in caps for prices? Obviously, things change over the years, so you've got certain tiered prices. I don't know if that would work, but ultimately, availability would certainly squash that in regards to getting and obtaining product. And I think that grading has certainly had a massive impact, and that is another thing that drives value. So how you could change that, I don't know. We touched on the last pod about grading standards, and the reason why there is no grading standards because you can't regulate collectibles, and that's the grey area of this hobby, is the fact that it isn't regulated, and that will always be the case. So I think as long as there's a demand, there is value. So we can't stop that. But I think the availability which you've suggested, I think that's a really good idea. So aside from my crackpot ideas, I think availability is probably the one that makes the most sense, is make it available. We produce billions of the stuff. Let's do a few more.
Yeah. Stop with the staggered releases.
Oh,
Here's
God.
everything. That's it.
Ascended heroes can fuck off. Honestly, I just cannot fathom why.
What's the reason behind it? What's their plan?
So it obviously there's playables in it, like the Pokepad, which seem to be one of the rarer pulls, but it's also I think the change is happening. We're going to get 1 or 2 big sets a year now. I think they've learnt their lesson. And Ascended is the first big set of the year. Then we're going to get the Ruby Sapphire decks as the last big set of the year. So I think it's going to be, here's the Japanese set. Here it is in English, similar size. Here's the Japanese set, English, similar size.
Yeah.
Versus what we were having, which was, here's 2 sets coming out in Japan that merged to one big set. So yeah, I think we're seeing it, but Ascended is unfortunately one of those where they could have released it all. They should have released it all at the same time.
Yeah, there's no reason, because those cards are still playable, aren't they? Or are they not playable?
No, they are, but their release pattern would have disrupted EUIC and Worlds. So if they'd have allowed, because of how rare the product was, and because the Pokepads are playable and other stuff, there would have been an unfair advantage at EUIC if they would have allowed it. So that's why they didn't. And ultimately, we're seeing this bullshit staggered release, which is just pissing everyone off.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think it is what it is at the end of the day. I like the idea of scaling down and going smaller sets, and then having 2 big sets. I think that's fair. What I don't like is if the big sets are going to be speciality sets. I think that is, personally, if you're going to do a massive fuck off set, then provide booster boxes, for Christ's sake, because people want to open the product and people want to collect the cards. If you're going to master set it because you're a lunatic, but if you want to do that, you should be able to do that and not press ganged into this. Well, you're going to have to buy a booster bundle, or you're going to have to buy 65 ETBs and all that waste as a result of it. So that's my gripe, is that, why give Perfect Order a shitload of booster boxes, and that's going to be heavily printed, I would imagine. And then you've got Ascended Heroes, which is going to be 2-3 times the bloody size, and it's going to be harder. I don't understand that personally.
Yeah.
There we go. So, how many questions did we answer there? There's quite a few, wasn't there?
Quick calculation for you. 2, 3, 4. About 30. Yeah, about 30 questions.
Love that. Do you know what the
27 came from Kane, so.
You know what the end song should be to this?
Start.
50 Cent, 21 questions.
And they all about us.
They were. All about us. Well, I think that we have rabbited on for over an hour and a half, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this special edition podcast, the special set, if you will, the Ascended Heroes of podcasts, if you will. However, we are available across multiple platforms, unlike Pokemon. We're available on Instagram. You can get us on there. It's Rip and Sip Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, same name. You can find us on YouTube if you want to watch us. I don't know why you would, but you can. Are we on anywhere else? TikTok.
Coming soon to Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Producer Aaron is making moves, anything to do with Apple, and I am there. I think all that's left to say is thank you for the guest appearance this time around, Producer Aaron.
Thanks for having me.
I, as always, have been Curio Rich. You can find me at Curio Collectors Club. You can also find me Curio Card Care if you want to get your cards cleaned, polished, and or otherwise destroyed in some way, shape, or fashion. Next to me, my co-colleague and co-pilot, RagingNes. Where can we find you, Dan?
At showpoke underscore collectibles on Instagram. Yeah, that's it. And in store in Southampton at the location of the same name.
Amazing. I love it. I love the consistency, mate. It's top form.
Ellie really likes the name Showpoke. She's a big fan.
Oh, didn't turn my mic off. I was going to cut. What a way to end the show.
Oh.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be along very, very soon with the next one. And until then, love you long time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.